Welcome back to the Rules of Engagement. We're now onto the Q&A section. First question is going to be from Chris Strott. And it says, noob question is no such thing. No such thing as a noob question. Well, there are a couple, but this isn't one. What is the best way for a Zerg to deal with a ground-based Protoss Death Ball? And that's the question that Zerg players have been asking since being Wings of Liberty. So that's a perfectly great question. Don't worry about it. In Heart of the Swarm, Zerg has some actually better tools to deal with that ground-based Death Ball. Wings of Liberty, you had to get really to the Broodlords to effectively deal with it. But in Heart of the Swarm, the best way to deal with that, by far, well, it's still Broodlords, but then they can build Tempest, so that's not really a great answer, is actually a lot of Swarm Hosts and Vipers, and then a little bit of a ground army. Now, of course, the weakness of that is mobility, but if they're using the pure ground Protoss Death Ball, they're probably not really super mobile. So you have all your Swarm Hosts, you keep the Swarm Hosts far away from Death Ball. Keep them back, build stack defense around them to make sure they're safe. Send the Locust Waves out. Every time the Locust Waves goes out, your Vipers come in behind them, abduct a bunch of units. Abduct, 3-4 units each wave, pick off the Colossi, the Templar, etc. And you'll just eat away your Death Ball over time, and then they'll be ground out. Late game, what's great, if they don't have a ton of Immortals, Ultralisk, Infestor, Tech Switch. Protoss late game Death Ball is usually mostly Stalkers and Colossi with a few Templar. If they have that combination, if you hit a good flank with Ultras and Infestors, you will slaughter that army. The Ultras in Heart of the Swarm is much stronger against Protoss. It'll still get torn apart by Void Rays or Immortals, but it's great to tech switch to it if your opponent doesn't have too many of either of those two units. So next question is going to be, it's going to be from Andrew May. And it says, he got 3 base turtled on Aklon Waste by Terran. How can a Zerg break 19 tanks and tons of turrets while defending drops? So, if they're doing a 3 base turtle super late game, you should defend the drops with a lot of your own stack defense. Put up a, you should be on like 5-6 bases, let's say 5, and each base should have at least 6 to 7 pieces of stack defense, maybe like 2 spores, 4 or 5 spines, because you should have a lot more economy than them because they're turtling and you have 2 additional bases. Then, to break that position, the first thing you do is you're probably going to have a poor army to break that. It's probably going to be like Roaches, Hydras, something like that. What you want to do is you want to build up a bank, so they have a lot of resources. Find a way to trade that army off. The best way to do so against mass turtle siege tanks is actually just sacrifice a few units, add in some Vipers. With the Vipers, ask yourself, okay, can I attack at an angle where 4 to 5 Blinding Clouds would allow me to trade well? If no, go for a big drop, Blinding Cloud to missile turrets, drop their main, and then escape. Whatever it is, find a way to trade up those Urges and Hydras, not totally suicidally, and then replace your army with either Broodlord Corruptor or Swarm Host Viper. Those are really the 2 compositions you're gonna want to be looking for. If sometimes Ultras can work, but if they're really turtled up well, might not work too well. So I'd really suggest Broodlords as the ideal composition for that late game. This wraps up this episode of Rules of Engagement. But please tune in tomorrow for the WCS qualifiers. That's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern. Following that, there'll be another episode of Rules of Engagement. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.